Hey, Rick.
Hey, how's it going?
I gotta tell you something real quick.
Okay, what you got to tell me?
Darling, you gotta let me know. Should I stay or should I go? If they say that you're on mine, love you till the end of time.
End of time.
So come on and let me know. Should I stay or should I go?
Okay, bye.
Hey, horror and sci-fi fans. Drew here from Horror, Sci-Fi, and Beyond, and I hope you liked my little musical moment there.
It's great. It was amazing. It was spectacular. You play the guitar so much better than I do because I can't play the guitar.
Yeah, I can teach you to play guitar sometime, man.
Okay, my brother tried to teach me when I was like in high school, and he gave up. So it may be an uphill battle.
Hope everybody's doing pretty good. We got a really exciting video today. We got another list video.
Everybody loves lists.
Yep. So as you may know, Netflix just recently entered the Upside Down again with the last season of Stranger Things. You know, they split up the season into two parts. So we got volume 2 recently, which was amazing.
It was pretty great. I like this season better than season 3 personally. And I know some people probably argue the difference, but I feel like this season is stronger, especially all the stuff in Hawkins, like all the stuff with like the kids in Hawkins and Vecna and everything worked really well.
Vecna was like the best villain probably of the series so far. Probably ever. Like I think that he's gonna be the only villain. Number 5 is gonna be the last.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, he'll probably be the last villain, and they've tied him so. Spoilers. They tied him so closely into the story that he's you know, anybody who's seen it, anybody who hasn't seen it, just watch it.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of the Emperor from Star Wars. Like he's been all this,
pulling the strings.
So if you don't know what we're doing today, we're actually doing our top 5 Stranger Things needle drop moments. So basically, any musical moments in Stranger Things. So we really were gonna do like our top 5 of the whole series, but that just got too difficult. So we're actually gonna do our top 5 by season, and then we're gonna do a match list based off our top 5, our top 5 per season. I did 20. You didn't do.
I only did 5.
Yeah,
but
no, it's all good. But that was a hard one to do because there's so many good songs. Like they really pick songs for the appropriate moment, or appropriate songs for the appropriate moment.
For sure, and I think it got, for me, it progressively got harder with each season. So like I know first season they didn't have a lot of money, and so like they had a very limited kind of song selection. And then as each season they keep adding more and more and more, and there's just too many good ones. A lot of great ones.
Yeah, but before we get to that, let's talk about some horror, sci-fi, and fantasy media that we've been consuming. So I'll let you go first. So we're gonna do 2 that we're gonna highlight, and then we'll do quick honorable mentions after that.
Recently, I've been continuing to watch X-Files, which we talked about months ago. I am somewhere deep within the recesses of season 3 now. And it's starting to get really good again. I remember for a while it was very episodic and like things weren't really working, or like they didn't work quite well, but like season 3 is really good. And then the other thing would be, I guess, Stranger Things. I finally sat down and finished that. So and I would highly recommend it. I've got, I can nitpick the season. Some aspects of the story are stronger than others. I really like all the stuff in Hawkins. With all the kids and Vecna and everything. But yeah, I would recommend it. I highly recommend it. Go watch it. It's got some great music.
Yeah.
What have you been watching?
So my 2 biggest honorable mentions is Phil Tippett's new animated feature, Mad God, on Sutter.
I forgot about Mad God. I watched Mad God too.
Yeah, Mad God was so good. It was weird though. It was
It
pretty
was really
dark.
good. Oh,
Yeah.
super dark. So much darker than I was anticipating it being.
Yeah, and it was funny. I went to go see Buzz Lightyear like a few hours after that. So
You needed a palate cleanser. Yeah, needed to wash it out.
And then I watched Frank Darabont's The Mist, which I really like. Probably one of the best Stephen King adaptations.
I love The Mist. I saw that in theaters, and the ending is a jaw dropper.
Oh yeah, for sure. But some real quick honorable mentions, real quick. Saw Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear, The Black Bone, which is my second favorite movie of the year. Annihilation with Natalie Portman, which I thought was it was pretty weird at first, but I kind of got into it.
I love it. I think that bear near the that bear monster is a really weird and interesting concoction that I've never seen before.
Oh yeah, for sure. Then I watched a documentary called My Amityville Horror, because the Fear God podcast was reviewing. Been reviewing a bunch of like horror documentaries. So that's one. So that was one of the ones I haven't seen. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch this. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, I need to check that out.
Yeah, it's really good. It's about one of the Lutz children who hasn't really spoken out about his experience, and he kind of comes out and talks about his experience.
Okay.
And I watched Jaws on the 4th of July, because it's the best summer movie of all time. Don't even argue with me.
I watched all 4.
Oh, really?
On the 4th. Yeah. The first 2 are fine. The first one's great. Second one's okay. The third one is amazingly laughably bad. Like, it's really hilariously bad. There's a freeze frame at the end where 2 dolphins jump up. Oh, it's good. I laughed a lot. 3.
Really?
Jaws 3D.
I can see that. So they're in a water park or a marine theme park.
I would say if you want to laugh, watch that one.
Yeah. So, and then another Spielberg movie that has really good practical animatronic effects was E.T. I watched that the day after. Yeah, E.T.
Nice.
The actual character E.T. still holds up, I feel like.
Oh yeah, no, it's the 40th. This is like the 40th anniversary of it. It's been out for 40 years.
Really?
Yeah, it came out in like 82. That's amazing when you look back at all those special effects that work still well today.
And then I watched Dredd, the Judge Dredd.
Oh, Dredd.
Yeah, the good one, the good Dredd movie.
Dredd is written by the guy who wrote Annihilation.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Then I watched In the Mouth of Madness, and then They Live.
Sam Neill. Yeah, Sam Neill. Yeah. It's pretty good.
That's a really good ending.
It's a great ending.
When you're watching like his whole experience, like on the screen, and then he starts laughing, and then it gets into the main theme that wow.
I haven't watched it in a long while. I need to go back and revisit it.
Yeah, it's really good. So you got any quick honorable mentions you want to just cycle through real quick?
No, I haven't really watched a lot of sci-fi and horror this month. I've been busy with work, so we did finish. I did finish Barry, which I guess is somewhere. It has become less of a comedy show and more of a psychological horror show at this point.
I watched the first few episodes of that. I thought he was gonna be more like a serial killer, like Dexter Morgan, but he's actually a hitman.
Yeah, season 3 gets real dark.
Really?
So season 3 is really good. So I would say if you want, pick that back up.
Yeah, I need to. I love Bill Hader. I think he's one of my favorite comedians. Probably my favorite SNL cast member between him and Kirsten Wiig, and then John Belushi.
And he's really good in this show. So
yeah, for sure. Enough with diddly dallying. Let's get to the list, man. Let's do season 1. What is your 5th favorite song from Stranger Things season 1?
My 5th favorite song from Stranger Things season 1 is "Go Nowhere" by Reagan Youth, which is this punk song that is pretty great. They don't have a lot of punk songs, but when they do drop them in, this is a good one.
They got more like alternative songs, I feel like, because that's kind of what he's into.
Right, and I feel like there's a lot of they don't try to play to the hits. They're not playing. They're not playing REO Speedwagon like every turn, or top like 40 hits. Right, they're finding like some great hidden gems out there. So
yeah, I think the first season, right? For sure, they played more like obscure stuff, except for Should I Say After I Go. I think people kind of know that song.
Sure, and probably budgets too.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely tell the buzzes in like the last 3 seasons for sure.
Oh yeah.
My my fifth favorite song in season 1 would have to be Modern English's "I Melt with You." I
Oh,
just think
okay.
the
Yeah.
whole pool party and them, like
Hmm.
shotgunning the beer and then then jumping in the pool and all that. That was just like the perfect song for that scene, and it's a cool song. I really like it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
about falling in love and in the apocalypse.
Which is perfect for Stranger Things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because then Barb gets like kidnapped or gets killed by the Demogorgon.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of a warning in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So what is
Don't
your
melt. Don't
yeah?
melt, Barb.
What
Yep.
is your fourth favorite song in season 1?
My fourth my fourth favorite song is Corey Hart's Sunglasses at Night because it's a
Ah,
stupid song. I love it so much. It's ridiculous. It
it's a dumb
doesn't make a
song,
lick of sense for the most part.
but
It's a dumb
it's a
song,
good
but I
80s
kind of
song
love it.
too. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, I picked this one. I tried to pick like a quintessential like 80s song
Mm,
for each season because it's set in the 80s and like I feel like later seasons kind of move away from just full on nostalgia, but I think this one feels very 80s to me. I
yeah.
remember listening to this as a kid, like I don't know when it came out, but I remember listening to it in probably early 90s because my mom listened to a bunch of 80s music, so
Yeah, so you
this
did
one was
yours
always this
based
one
off like
nostalgia for me.
off your like it's just your personal feeling of the song.
Oh yeah, no, mine always is personal feeling of the song. I think
Yeah,
because people use different songs in different ways. Some people, I think Quentin Tarantino said that a song can be used perfectly in a movie and can never be used again, which I completely disagree with. I think I always put personal feelings to a song, and then that heightens or lessens the scene for me. Does that make
yeah, I
sense?
did it based off of like how it was used in the scene.
Oh, see, so two different approaches to
Oh yeah, I mean that's great, man.
perfect.
My number 4 would be Green Desert by Tangerine Dream. And this is the part
Ooh.
after Hopper gets kidnapped by the people at Hawkins Labs. And then he goes around his little trailer to see if they rigged up his trailer with like microphones or cameras. And it has a very kind
Mm-hmm.
of like jazzy kind of feel. So it kind of fits that kind of like conspiracy
Mm-hmm.
theory kind of thing. And it was funny. Like now, ever since I started watching Stranger Things, I see a white van, and I always think, "Wait, is Dr. Brenner in there?"
Is he there?
Yeah, it always freaks me out when I see a white
That's
van.
fair.
Number 3.
Number three, and I feel like maybe this should be higher on the list, but I put it at three for some reason. And I think it may be because it's not my favorite Clash song, but it's "Should I Stay or Should I Go," which I think works really well in this in the first two seasons of this show for sure. Uh, but to me, I love the song. I love the Clash. I really love the Clash growing up. It's just not my favorite Clash song,
Yeah,
but it's a great song and it works really well in the season. I think whenever they tie it back around with like older brother and Will, like that's how they find him later on in like season two. It's good, or season one. Yeah.
I actually have that somewhere else on my list, but when I get to it, I got something interesting to say about that song. How it is
Okay.
in the scene. My number 3 is Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the part where the Hawkins Lab people are taking over Benny's cafe and they basically kill Benny, trying to look for
Hmm.
11. And I like it because it's a drug song and it's connected to 11 and Hawkins Lab. And the whole, they did the whole kind of MK
Hmm.
Ultra mind control kind of
Hmm.
thing there, when
Sure.
they basically drugged up Terry Ives and that's kind of what the inciting incident for this whole
Oh yeah.
thing.
Plus it's a banger. It slaps. It's great. It's a great song. Like written in like the '60s. It still holds up. It's good. They used it in like a Gears of War trailer,
Oh, really?
like a few years ago. Yeah, like or maybe it was Red Faction. One of those trailers. They use it in like trailers all the time because it still is like a very trippy, um, just like
It's kind of an
amazing
epic
song. It's
song
great.
too.
Yeah, it builds and builds and builds and builds and builds until like
What is your number 2?
My number two is a song that I didn't really listen to before we started going back through this, and it made it. So I started reviewing some of the songs from first couple seasons, because I couldn't remember what all was in there. And it was a song that like kept creeping up on me, and I was just like, this is really good. And it's Nocturnal Me by Echo and the Bunnymen. This sort of like post-punk, new wavy sort of
And you're also
vibe
kind
to
of
it.
going for like more songs that are like heard in the background of scenes.
Yeah. Not the ones that are like super punctuation marks.
Yeah.
And mainly because I can't remember where they played in the scenes. I just
Right.
found like a list. Because I haven't seen. I want to rewatch all 4 seasons before the 5th one comes out, but I haven't rewatched season 1, 2, or 3 in like 3 years or something like that.
My number 2 is the song that you just heard me play, and that's Should I Stay or Should I Go? I think this is like one of the best songs that kind of represents like the whole, at least the first season, because you have like Will stuck in the upside down, and so like he's kind of contemplating like, should I stay here or should I get out of here? And then
right.
the thing I wanted to say real quick was the first time you hear it, it's actually a flashback. When you have Will and Jonathan, his older brother Jonathan, listening to the song while in Jonathan's room, while Joyce, their mom, is on the phone with her ex-husband Lenny, having an argument, and it's kind of interesting because this song is about a bad relationship. So that's kind of a cool parallel. So it kind of works on multiple different ways.
For sure. It was a great bonding moment. It shows like the humanity of Jonathan, how everything connects together. And it just gives them a little bit more of a backstory and like how they came together. And it also helps that's how like Jonathan comes to find him later on by playing the song. And so it's
and I
really
think
good.
When he lists off all those artists that he thinks Will might like, it really kind of helps establish his character a bit. Yeah, that he's kind of been, because Steve is more into like what's popular on the radio at that point.
Right.
I'm more into like the punk rock or like the alternative kind of stuff.
And see, I love Steve, but I have more of a musical taste closer to Jonathan, personally.
When's your number 1?
My number 1 is Africa by Toto.
Ooh.
And I don't remember where it falls in the season. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's when Steve breaks into Nancy's room when she's studying, and they start making out.
Which is a great scene. So, but to me, this is like quintessential sort of like 80s. And it's a song that people still remake now. It's a weird song. Yeah, Weezer just did a remake of it. It's a weird song. And it reminds me of being a kid. My mom listened to a bunch of 80s stuff. I think I said this already. And this was one of the ones that kind of got played on loop a lot. Along with Journey, which I hate Journey. I
like Journey. I don't love them like a lot of people do.
See,
but I like
a lot of people love them, and maybe I've softened in my old age, but like I didn't like Journey growing up. But Toto Africa is my number 1 song for season 1.
My number 1 is pretty unorthodox, and that's going to be one of my favorite Christmas songs, Carol the Bells.
Okay, Carol Bells, really good. Holds up. I love Carol Bells. It's great.
Yeah, and this is when
it builds.
Yeah, and this is when Hopper's leaving the Christmas party at the police station, and he goes into the woods to leave the Eggos in that little box, and it just leaves a really ominous feel to it.
Yeah. I forget the first season ends at Christmas. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I guess I'm not going to set a whole season in Christmas at this point. I kind of want them
to have a Stranger Things Christmas special.
Yeah, like I mean, we're getting a Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special later this year.
We are, as long as it's not a Star Wars Christmas special. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, I don't want to go there right now. So real quick, what are some of your honorable mentions?
I didn't even make honorable mentions. I didn't know we were supposed to do that.
Oh, okay.
Shoot. What are your honorable mentions?
Atmosphere, Allegra, and then Fields of Coal.
Oh yeah. Those are all great.
Okay, season 2.
Number 5 on my list of the best songs of season 2, and season 2 had a lot of great hits in it. Is "Dead End Justice" by the Runaways, which is this sort of punk sort of thing. It comes in my work, like it comes in the episode I hate from season 2, but the episode where she like goes away and we it's just kind of how it fell in the season. Like we end on a cliffhanger and then we just disappear for an entire episode and then we come back after that cliffhanger. So it comes to that episode and it's great. It's a fucking punk song from the 70s, Runaways. It's really good.
Probably one of the best opening lines ever. I'm a blonde bombshell and I wear it well.
Yeah.
Your mom said you're gonna burn in hell.
Sleep in the streets.
My number 5 is actually from the same episode, and that's going to be Bon Jovi's Runaway.
I almost put that on here. That on here.
Yeah, and it just fits so well in the scene because she's running away, and she ran away to Chicago. And this is like Chicago in like the 80s, so there's like drugs and like drug dealers and like prostitutes everywhere.
A whole new world. She's seeing the world out there in Hawkins, outside of Hawkins.
What is number 4?
Number 4 is "Time After Time" by Cyndi Lauper. I love this song. I almost put it at number 1, but there's a couple other better ones I think in this season. It's been used in like multiple movies, like all like through. I think it was in Napoleon Dynamite. It's been in a bunch of stuff. And it always just it reminds me of like childhood for some reason. Like all of Stranger Things is just nostalgia based for the most part. Like everything is sort of like starts in nostalgia and then they build like good character. So to me, my favorite ones are the ones that remind me of being a child.
Yeah, Cyndi Lauper. Yep, not a bad pick. My number 4 is actually from the same episode as the last one, and that's going to be the Icicle Works "Whisper to a Scream."
Oh, yeah. Okay, interesting choice.
That's the one that's playing where she's heading back to Hawkins on the bus, and she talks to that old lady, and she says, "Yo, I'm going home," and it plays on the end credits, and then the lyric is "We are children trying to find our way home" or something like that. And it just worked again, just like Runaway. It's actually kind of the opposite of Runaway, because Runaway, she's leaving Hawkins to go to Chicago. With Whisper to the Scream, she's going back to Hawkins. So it's a good kind of juxtaposition. That's
good parallel, yeah, inverse of it, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize this, but they actually played that song, a cover of that song at the end of the first Scream.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Small world.
I like the energy. I mean, the 70s and the 80s were kind of the birthplace of like alternative music.
Oh, for sure. Like there's so much great stuff, and like these season 3 and season 4 get like stacked with like good music in them. Because they have such like great decade to pull from.
What is your number 3?
My number 3 is a song that I should have probably ranked a little higher too, but it's "Four Horsemen" by Metallica.
Yes, yes.
Because it's an amazing song, and it is like one of their like lesser known. And this is like a lot of people now are just like coming on to Metallica because of season 4. But this is the one I was just like, yeah, Metallica. They're like, this is the season where I thought they really started getting all their song, like music, like really zoomed into like
the first time that like heavy metal started to be played in this series.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they introduced it with Billy, and he's sort of like our new character who's like on the edge of things.
Speaking of being introduced to Billy, my number 3 is a little "Rock You Like a Hurricane," because that is like the perfect moment.
Oh man, I almost put that on this. That would okay. If we're doing honorable mentions, "Rock You Like a Hurricane" was like hanging out for a long time before I put it on.
Perfect for the character because it's this new hot guy with like his chest popped out, and like these group of like high school girls are like swooning over him. So like he's trying to get a little accent, so he's gonna rock him like a hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's so perfect. In the badass song.
It's all wind. Yeah, no, it's a great song.
Yeah, I didn't notice. Could I watch some of these scenes again? I didn't notice that one of the girls that's checking them out is actually one of Steve's friends from the season 1.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually the girl that was in the photo room with Jonathan, and then she found out that he was taking pictures of them at the party.
Oh. Interesting. Yeah, I need to go back and rewatch all the seasons again, which I will before 5 comes out.
What's your number two?
My number two is like quintessential 80s. And it is Love is a Battlefield by Pat Benatar.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a great song. It's an amazing song. I don't remember. I can't remember. Where's it work out in this? Love is a battlefield. Where does this fall out in the season? I don't remember. Do you know?
It's at the snowball dance, bro. You should know this.
Oh, it's a snowball dance again. Wait, they play both. They play Time After Time and Love is a Battlefield, a snowball dance.
Yeah, they do a whole medley of songs.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. This is an amazing song. And it is was almost my number one. But it's not quite.
Yeah, it's a great
What's
song.
your number two?
I love Pat Benatar. He's like one of the best 80s singers. Yeah, especially Shadow of the Night.
Shadow of the Night's great.
That's probably my favorite Pat Benatar.
I get why they picked this one to put in there for that scene. But yeah, Shadow of the Night's really good too.
My number two is gonna be Jim Croce, You Don't Mess Around with Jim. And that's when they're flashing back to when Hopper meets up with 11, and then he kind of brings her into the cabin, and he's playing like old records. He's like, oh great, this is good music, and he puts on the little Jim Croce. Said that this was like his grandfather's cabin or his father's cabin, so it was like an old record collection.
Some relation to him. That one was almost is one of my alternates. It almost made to like my top 5 too.
Yep. You don't talk on Superman's cape.
Jim Croce, he's underrated. Like a lot of people don't even know who he is. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, he's like up there with like Dylan and like James Taylor, or like folk singers.
Yeah.
But what is your number one, man?
Number one for season 2 is a little duet called "Islands in the Stream" by Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers.
I did not expect that.
Ooh, it's good. I love it. I'm a secret Kenny Rogers fan. I'm an out front Dolly Parton fan, but I love "Islands in the Stream." Yeah, it's a great duet. It's an amazing sort of just love ballad, and they're perfect.
So my number one, I did a little cheating. I did a whole scene that had a whole bunch of, songs. It was an event that was hinted at in the first season, and that's gonna be the snowball dance. So I did all the songs. I couldn't rank them. So I had to do all the songs, and those songs entail "Love Is a Battlefield" by Pat Benatar. Twist of Faith by Olivia Newton-John, Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper, and Every Breath You Take.
We didn't have to do the rest of the list. That was a perfect answer. I don't know how to top that.
Well, I've been Drew from Horror Sci-Fi and Beyond. See you later.
See you guys next time.
No, and I first knew all these songs, and besides Twist of Fate, that was like a new song for me, and that's an awesome song too.
They're all bangers, as the kids say.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. But I like with Every Breath You Take, because it talked about, it's like basically like a stalker song.
Oh yeah.
And it's supposed to, it kind of fits well, with the love kind of romantic side of this series. But then it cuts into Mind Flayer. So like the Mind Flayer.
Every Breath You Take, still out there stalking them. In the shadows.
So it works both ways, man.
It's good. It's a good choice and a great cap for that scene.
So quick honorable mentions. Just Another Day, Oingo Boingo, spooky movies, a little shout, sound of the devil. Go, Hammer the Fall, Queen, Dead End Justice, and Islands in the Stream. So let's go to season 3. What is your number 5 for Stranger Things season 3?
Number 5 for season 3 is Working for a Living, Huey Lewis and the Newses. I love Huey Lewis. He's like a guilty kind of pleasure for me because he was just they overplay him a lot on the radio. But this is one of those quintessential 80s picks for me, where it's just like you hear Huey Lewis, you just think like cocaine in the 80s and American Psycho. Like that's all I think of. So
my number 5 would be a classic. That's gonna be American Pie by Don McLean. I just worked with the scene when with Billy and the other lifeguard, and that like they're possessed by the mind flayer. And they attack her parents. For some reason, it just worked. So I can't hear that song and not think of that scene anymore.
For sure.
Nothing like taking a classic song and like putting it over like a really messed up scene.
Sure. Sure. I don't know, and that's what we were just talking about American Psycho. Like you can't hear that song and that scene and not think of
Yeah, Empathy
think of
Square.
that scene. They become attached to each other in some ways in your mind.
So what's your number 4?
My number 4 is another song that doesn't make a lick of sense, but it slaps, as the kids say. Hot Blooded by Foreigner, which is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous song, but it is just pure 80s cheese for me. Like it is. And this season 3 for the most part feels like they really laid into like 80s sort of like the more cheesy songs and like some of the little like the 80s tropes with like the Russians and sort of like that Red Dawn sort of thing. So this one fit for me in the season, but like this one is like pure 80s cheese to me, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and it's funny because they got a song called Cold as Ice, which is also
Cold as Ice, Hot Blooded, Cold as Ice, playing back to back.
My number 4 is, I'm gonna give you a hint real quick, okay? So Doc, you're telling me that you've been on Time Machine on DeLorean? Well, otherwise, shit, money. If you're gonna be on Time Machine, you might as well do it with some style. That was a terrible Christopher Lloyd impression. Little Alan Silvestri, Back to the Future. Because this is a scene where Robin and Steve are all drugged up, and they take Dustin takes them to the movie theater where Back to the Future is being played, and they make like of course make fun of it later in the
sure.
in the season. While that's going on, Dustin is trying to talk to Mike on his walkie. His battery dies, and he goes back to the theater to discover that Robin and Steve aren't there. And I love how they match like the actual music on in the movie to the actual like stuff that's going on. So they already had to do that with Back to the Future. They had to take Alan Silvestri's music and match it up with the visual. But then they had to do that was already pre-existing to that movie here. Like that was just so genius.
It's a great way of like in like bringing in sort of like diegetic music, which is music within the scene, into like the movie and making it work in like an entirely different way. It's good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What is your number 3?
My number 3 is a song that I still listen to. I think it's great. It holds up really well, in my opinion. It's Neutron Dance by the Pointer Sisters.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I forget, it's been used in a couple of... Doing the Neutron Dance.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it means. I assume it's about the atomic age, maybe, but...
Yeah.
It's a song that's...
You went the Cold War, after all.
Oh, right, yeah. And we're dealing with the Russians.
That was like the most 80s thing that they did in this whole series so far. It's like had the freaking Russians have their base
inside the mall.
Yeah. That's like the most 80s thing ever.
Super 80s, almost 280s. It's almost 280s.
This is too much 80s.
Number 3 was Neutron Dance. What's yours? Number 3?
It's like my 80s. It says Brain Cat. 80s. My number 3 is another one that was made famous in a movie. And that movie is Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and it's moving in stereo. Because I didn't think the use of this is so funny, because in Fast Times, it's objectifying a woman, but in here it's objectifying like the male character.
Right.
Yeah, and I thought that was just funny, like role reversal right there.
Oh, of course. And it's like a nice little commentary. Like those movies were made in the 80s, and therefore they can only be seen, like we can all look at them now as something from the past, or relic. And so like I think they're like commenting on like how, like you said, objectification, stuff like that. So
that Bath Times joke in the first episode of season 4, when Steve and Robin are talking about on that girl that he has a crush on, and he says,
right.
She turned in Bath Times at Ridgemont High, reround stopped at this point. You know what that means? She likes boobies. I'm like, that scene.
My number 2 is a song that kind of like ends the season and really ties everything up for me, and it's "Heroes" by Peter
Gabriel. That's my number 2 too.
That's your number 2 as well. Well, we hit them both at the same time. This is the first. We've never hit a list exactly at the same time at the same point for anything. So to me, it's perfect for the scene. Like it's the only song I really remember from this season, like being in a scene. and it's at the very end of the season, right?
Right.
Am I misremembering? I think that's right, right?
Yeah, I love how like they ended that. How this, they kind of go to the whole journey. It's like, oh yeah, I know, I like, watching old Western movies with you and, eating waffles with you, but I know you're getting older and you don't want to hang out with me anymore.
Right.
And he puts on P.S. Keep the door open 3 inches for your dad's sake.
Which they come back and they play that back up. They play that back up in 4 too.
I don't remember
Spoilers
that.
if anybody hasn't seen it. She says it whenever he comes back in. Because she's like, the door was open 3 inches.
The very last episode. So I guess,
but yeah, it's good.
You want to do your number one real quick?
Sure. And I wonder if we're the same number one. I don't know. Maybe not. My number one is the song from The Never Ending Story.
Son of a bitch.
It's great. It works really well. It is like one of my favorite scenes in the whole series. And I don't like season 3 that well. Like it's not my favorite season of them all. But
the one thing I don't like about season 3, and it's super entertaining, I don't like how you don't really learn anything about the Upside Down or like that world.
Yeah.
It's just the mind flayer, okay. But it's entertaining. I mean, they're all 4
seasons. It's super entertaining. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I agree. Like I feel like we set up we spend so much time setting up the Russians that we just kind of lose everything else.
Yeah.
And this song and Heroes are all ones I remember from any of the seasons, like connected the scenes. But the whole time Dustin has been like saying that he has a girlfriend and they met and like and all that.
You
and
think that was legit?
Do I know?
You think that was actually legit? That he had a girlfriend?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. I think they did. I think he did. It's a great payoff. It's a great payoff to that joke. Like a joke on a joke. Like it's a great payoff that she actually exists. And then in order for her to help them, he has to sing with her and embarrass himself in front of all of his friends. It's great.
My honorable mentions will be I Just Died in Your Arm Tonight, Material Girl, Cold as Ice, Open the Door, My Bologna, and We'll Meet Again.
I almost put My Bologna and Die in Your Arms Tonight on here. Those were definitely.
Season 4, the last season. Here's
season 4,
the final stretch.
And they've got a lot of great songs. This was a hard season to do. And people are probably going to be mad because of how I've ranked these. But number 5 is Running Up That Hill. Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush. Yeah.
What?
I think it's a great song. And I mostly put it down that low because people have just now heard of it, and I'm just kind of mad because it's a great song. It's been around for a long time.
At work.
Oh right, I knew it because of like 2 or 3 years ago, someone did a cover of it with like an amazing video. I was like, who is this by? And then I went back and started digging in through like Hounds of Love and all that sort of stuff, and it's choice. It's really good. And I only put it at 5 because there's a lot of really other good songs in the season, and just for spite, for the most part. But yeah, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is I'm feeling uptight on a Saturday night. Detroit Rock City.
It was one of my honorable mentions. That was one of my ones that was like, ooh, almost on there.
That's perfect for that scene, and how they intercut it with with Lucas's basketball game and then the D&D game.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, plus, Kiss was like the first like band I ever obsessed over. I used to watch Gene Simmons with my dad all the time, or Gene Simmons is feeling Joel all the time with my dad. Who's your number 4?
My number 4 is The Puppet Masters by Metallica.
You mean Master of Puppets?
Master of Puppets, sorry. Master of Puppets by Metallica. And this is another one that like it probably should have been higher. But it's from spite that people love it now, and it should be higher. But I couldn't not put it on the list because it is
stupid.
It's a great scene, and I appreciate. And honestly, I like that people are just now listening to Metallica.
Yeah, people are gonna find out about it at some point. Like every generation is gonna find out about this band. Like it's
right.
Yeah, because it is in a mainstream TV show. Like you're gonna complain about it. Like get over yourself.
Sure. And this song is almost like 30 years old now. So if there's anything that can bring it back into the popular culture, cool.
If you think about it, it's like the perfect Metallica song because
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's fast, it's complicated, but you also sing along with it. You can hand bake to it, you can moss to it, it slows it down.
it's the song that really like cemented like their style like going forward, like from like the 80s into the 90s, to me at least.
Yeah, I think that my favorite part in that whole scene was when Max is like opening the doors and you open that one door when it's like the steam room and
And
Billy's
it's
in
just
there.
yeah.
That was so perfect. That was like during the breakdown, the master. And I just thought about it, that actually kind of worked with Billy because that's his spots back when he was being resisted by the mind flare. Yeah, my number 4 is by one of my favorite kind of horror punk psycho Billy bands, and that's going to be "I Was a Teenage Werewolf" by the Cramps.
I love that song. I agree with you. I can't not agree with you. It's actually just higher on my list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was a perfect intro for Eddie Munson. He was into like heavy metal and horror and all that stuff. And he was my favorite character in the whole season.
In this whole season, as far as new characters, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because,
I would totally hung out with them for sure.
It's great. It's a great scene. It's a great scene. It's a great introduction to that character, and it's a great song on its own.
Yeah, but I like it because like you have that moment with Christy when she's in the bathroom and she's getting that flashback of her mom, which is actually Vecna messing with her, and then you hear that the opening riff, the boom boom. Boom, boom. And then you hear the beginning of Eddie's monologue, and he says, "The devil has entered America."
It's a perfect song for that scene, and it's a perfect song for him talking about D&D, and it's a perfect setup for this sort of like 80s satanic panic that went on.
Oh yeah,
where people were terrified of that.
Like that was really great for that season. What's your number 3?
Number 3 is and this one moved around my list a lot. It's by a band I love. I still love. It's not my favorite song by them, but it's still a killer song, and it is "Psycho Killer" by the Talking Heads.
Ooh,
it's really good. It's a great song. It works perfectly for the series because it's of the time.
And that was on your top 13 favorite songs to listen to in October.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great song. It works in all months of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
you can watch it with your Stranger Things, or you can watch it with your Halloween.
Yeah, I love Talking Heads. I wish I would have gone into more alternative music in high school. That seemed like a like a thing that high schoolers are into.
Sure.
Yeah, I was like,
it's never too late. It's never too late to get into alternative.
Yeah.
New wave, post punk. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. My number 3 is actually by another alternative kind of punk band that I'm starting to get into, Susie and the Banskees, and that's going to be the song playing at the end of this season, Spellbound. So perfect when
great.
I know taking over Hawkins.
It's amazing. This was definitely one of my alternates. It was I had like a 10, like all the other seasons I had like about 6 or 7 top 5s, that sort of thing, and I'd like take a couple away. This season 4 had like 10 20 songs. I was just like, I can't get rid of any of these. But yeah, it's amazing. It's a perfect song to end the season on.
Yeah, and what's crazy is like Susie and the Banskees I'm noticing is being used a lot in media, and you would think they would have blown up like Kate Bush did, but they're not.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is probably my favorite song by theirs. I just heard it off of here because I'm just getting into it, like I said.
Sure, yeah, no, it's a great song. Keep listening. Yep. My number 2 is a song you've already talked about, and it was "I Was a Teenage Werewolf" by the Cramps. Because again, it's a perfect introduction to Eddie, and it's also just a slapping ass fucking Cramps song. And the Cramps are amazing. They're a great little psychobilly punk band from in the 70s, 80s. And all their stuff is great.
We had the Cramps at your number 1 from the top 13 songs in October.
Yeah, and which is a song off another movie, which is Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead has a song called Surfing Dead, which I don't think they wrote for the movie, but it works perfectly for that movie. Cramps are amazing. I love the Cramps.
Yeah,
the best album is a song of just B songs, like with just bad music for bad people.
Yeah, I liked Surfing Dead. It's not my favorite Cramps song. That would be I Was a Teenage Werewolf. That's definitely. And even though that riff is basically ripping off Ramble On or Rumble by Linkway.
Right, but
who cares?
Who cares? It's all good. It's all rock and roll.
Yeah.
What's your number two?
Number two is Master Puppets. No, nothing to say there.
It's a perfect song for that scene. It's can't even mess it up.
Yeah, it's hard to play.
Although I did see like you just mentioned hard to play. I saw a meme someone said the other day that like the song would have came out like 2 weeks prior to the events happening in this. So Eddie would have only had like 2 weeks to learn that song with like someone had did the math and like calculated how when it was released and everything.
I saw
and
downstrokes too. Like Capitol doing downstrokes during that song.
Right. So he would have had just maybe 2 weeks to learn that song in that time. And I was just like,
he's a fucking robot.
I know, right?
What is your number one?
My number one, and I went back and forth on this for a very long time. My number one is Separate Ways by Journey.
Oh.
And I almost hate myself for saying this because I don't like Journey. But the way they do it, because it's a remixed version, and they did this for like season 2, like a season 2 trailer that played like Comic-Con, where they remixed sort of a Thriller by Michael Jackson into like a trailer. So incorporating like
first time they used the trailer song in the actual season.
Yeah. And it's the culmination to like that penultimate, like the second to the last episode. And it works perfectly. I think it's amazing, and I don't like Journey.
And my number one, I guess you can all guess what it is the seminal song from the season, probably the whole series. And that's gonna be If I Only Could, I'm not gonna do what you got. Sorry, I can't sing like
Great.
that. And you know what's funny? I don't even like this song that much. I don't really like Kate's voice.
I mean, I would say if you listen to All the Hounds of Love, the song, the album this is off of, give it a go. It's the B side of it is amazing. It's like a concept album almost.
Okay, cool.
But it's good. It's really good. And it's
so this one specifically the epic version during Dear Billy.
Yeah. The end of that episode. Ooh, it's good.
Yeah, and it gave me a little bit of goosebumps when she's running out of the Upside Down. But as soon as the credits hit and you hear that violin, melody, the like that. Oh man, that got me right here, man.
Oh, it's good.
It got me so much that like I went back and watched that scene again. And I keep watching that. I just keep listening to that version on YouTube. It's oh my god, the way they incorporated that song. Like a song I don't even like that, and it's not a bad song. I don't hate the song. Like I like the music, the instrumental. I just don't like Kate's voice.
Sure, and it's just the way they, it's the way it's incorporated in the scene. Like you probably would if you found that song by yourself, just outside of this, you'd be like, yeah, it's fine. But incorporated in the scene, it becomes like something new, and it stirs all these emotions. It's good. It's really good.
So my honorable mention for season 4, real quick, is Psycho Killer, Dream a Little Dream, Arcadian by the Philip Seymour Glass or Philip Glass.
Philip Glass, yeah.
Yeah, I call it the Vecna theme.
Yeah.
I actually like that because it sounds very like Interstellar with the organ. And then you have a little bit of like the Emperor scene, like kind of Star Wars dark. I thought that was pretty cool.
Philip Glass is like an amazing like avant-garde sort of eclectic composer.
And then also Up Around the Bend, CCR, and then Fire and Rain.
Ooh, yeah. See, okay. 2 seconds. You may have to cut this out. But when I heard Fire and Rain on the radio in the Winnebago, I was like, they're gonna kill Steve.
Oh,
Steve's
really?
dead.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
Because that song's about like wanting to say something to a friend that you'll never see again.
Oh, really?
And they're having a conversation. Yeah, like
I was wondering what that song's about.
Where he's like, I always thought I would see you again, sort of thing. I've seen Fire, yeah. And so like I was like, they're gonna kill Steve. And then they didn't kill Steve, and I was just like, I'm confused. Yeah. But I feel like that was the plant that they were setting up there. Which I think Eddie was like the stand-in for Steve this season.
How sad.
I also don't think Eddie should have died.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he needed to die.
So, real quick, do you want to do your top 5 master list? No, do my top 20 real quick
Sure, I'll do my top 5. My top 5 is
for the
I'm
whole
gonna do these in
series.
no particular in whole series, and I'll do these in no particular order. And it is Kate Bush, Running Up That Hill,
What?
Psycho Killer, Psycho Killer, Talking Heads, Time After Time, Cyndi Lauper. Oh, I go back and forth on this one. Separate Ways remix. No, wait,
Ooh,
that's
that's
number
not a
one.
bad
I had to
one.
put that.
That's not a bad one. You saved yourself on that one.
Separate Ways remix
Stick with it.
and
Stick with it. Just stick with it. Stick with Slipper Ways. Stick
okay.
with Journey.
Oh, I got to throw one more. I got one more.
I'm sorry.
Peter Gabriel Heroes. If I was doing like 5 overall.
Yeah. So my top 20 real quick, I kind of put them in semi-order. I think the last like 25 or so are like more kind of in order or
Sure.
in better order. So number 20, Green Desert. Number 19, I Melt With You. 18, Don't Mess Around with Jim. 17, White Rabbit. 16, Detroit Rock City. 15, One Ray. 14, American Pie. 13, Moving in Stereo. 12, Whisper to a Scream. 11, Einstein Disintegrated. 10, I Was a Teenage Werewolf. 9, Heroes. 8, Rocky Like a Hurricane. 7, Should I Stay or Should I Go? 6, Spellbound. 5, Carol of the Bells. 4, Never Ending Story. 3, Master Puppets. 2, Snowball Dance Medley, which is really 4, but whatever, who cares?
Right.
And then 1, Running Up That Hill, the epic version.
Wow. Okay. I mean, it's a great song, and it's the thing that most people remember about this season.
I mean,
besides
song on
the
here,
Metallica
like,
song.
Goosebumps is that one.
Yeah.
Like I almost cry every time I hear that version. Like it's just so beautiful the way they incorporated
Good.
it.
It's a great list. A lot of great songs.
I can't believe you put One Up That Hill number 9 when that's clearly number 1.
I mean, it is a great song. I can't deny you that. And I put a song that I hate regularly at number 1, which is weird, but
anyways, this has been Drew from Horror Sci-Fi and Beyond. Make sure you stay away from the Upside Down. Eat lots of Edgar waffles. Listen to lots of Metallica, Talking Heads, and Susie and the Banshees, and the Cramps. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.